She's a beautiful influencer whose beauty is beyond just cameras. In Lagos, where traffic is endless and opportunities come dressed in glitter and grit, her name was a ticket into the most exclusive rooms, from Victoria Island rooftop shows to fashion weeks in Johannesburg. There was no fashion or lifestyle event that she didn't get a front row seat in. Her Instagram followers called her Queen Bella, though her real name is Isabella. With 1 million followers, every post she shared could make or break a brand. A lipstick shade she wore on a random Tuesday sold in hours. A dress she was photographed in could trend across Nigerian's fashion blog before midnight. Then came the invitation that would change everything: an exclusive Pan-African lifestyle summit in Accra, Ghana. Unlike the usual glitz of fashion weeks, this summit promised more conversation about identity, African storytelling, and the future of the continent's creative industry. It wasn't just about clothes or makeup, it's about voice. The spotlight followed Isabella as she stood at the podium. The grand ballroom in Accra was full. Journalists, designers, stylists, and young creatives hanging to every word she spoke. For years, women have been told to wait for a man, wait for permission, wait for the right time, Isabella said. Her voice clear and commanding. But the truth is, society has gone far beyond women depending on men. We must take responsibility for our lives. Independence is not selfishness, it is survival, it is freedom. The room erupted into applause. Some people standing on their feet. Young women in the audience raised their phone to capture the moment, whispering to one another about how old she was. Isabella smiled faintly, but her heart swelled. She had fought hard to reach this stage in only 5 years. When the clapping finally settled, she concluded with a challenge. My sisters, financial security is not optional. It is freedom. Love can wait, but freedom cannot. The standing ovation was thunderous. As Isabella stepped down from the stage, her eyes swept across the crowd and froze. There he was, Mike, a tall, slim man in his early 30s, with a neat beard and the quiet confidence of someone who didn't need to announce his success. Isabella recognized him instantly. He was the founder of a leading tech company in Ghana, a man often featured in Forbes Africa. But beyond the fame, there was something in his gaze, calm, piercing, and unshaken by the balls around him. Isabella pulse quickened. No, Bella, she whispered to herself, straightening her back. Not again, no distractions. For years, she had locked her heart away, burying it under layers of ambition. Love had only ever left her in tears, and she had vowed never to give it a seat in her life again. And millions of followers even admired her for that resolve. Secure the bag before the man, they often quoted her. She had become a symbol of independence, a feminist voice for women who refused to settle. And yet, one glance at Mike, her conviction trembled. She tried to walk back to her seat gracefully, but her eyes kept betraying her, darting back to him. To her surprise, his eyes were also locked on her. After the closing remark at the summit, as people mingled and networked, Mike finally walked towards her. Isabella, used to men frowning over her online and in person, suddenly felt her breath hitched. She couldn't pretend to be cool. Her palms felt sweaty. Miss Isabella, Mike began with a charming smile. I must say, your speech was electrifying. You're not just beautiful, your power and vision. And for me, beauty and brain together, that's the kind of woman I want to spend forever with. Isabella's lip parted in shock. She chuckled nervously, tilting her head. Wow, is that a way of confessing admiration for me on our first very meeting? Mike leaned in slightly, lowering his voice. Confession is too small a word. Honestly, my words don't even do justice to how much of a beautiful person you are, inside and out. I've met CEOs, influencers, leaders, but you shine differently. For the first time in a long while, Isabella felt her gout soften. She blushed, a rosy warmth spreading across her cheeks. Care for Mike, she teased, though her voice was softer than usual. I might just start believing you. Mike grinned. Good, because I mean every word. Isabella laughed lightly, but inside she was rattled. She wasn't supposed to feel this way. She had built an entire empire on the belief that love could wait, that women should never let emotions derail their ambition. And yet, yes, she was a queen of independence. And yet, yes, she was a queen of independence, suddenly unsure of how long she could resist the pull of a man whose presence felt inevitable. Mike's interest in Isabella grew stronger after the summit, and soon after, he proposed a spa date. To her surprise, Isabella agreed. It was not the sort of thing she usually allowed herself, but something about Mike's quiet confidence disarmed her defenses. Their first date was beautiful. Serene music, scented oils, and laughter shared between two people who seemed to understand each other without effort. For the first time in years, Isabella felt her heart soften in a way she had almost forgotten were possible. Over the weeks that followed, Isabella found herself drawn to Mike more than she expected. His charm was effortless, his intelligence striking, and his ability to make her feel seen was unlike anything she had experienced before. She noticed how he listened with intent, how he valued her opinions, how he carried himself with dignity. The more she spent time with him, the harder it became to deny what was happening. She was falling. By the next month, their bond had grown strong enough for Mike to suggest a vacation, and Isabella agreed. They traveled to the Maldives, a place far removed from the bustle of Lagos or Accra. It was paradise, white sand, endless turquoise water reflecting the sun, and nights filled with starlight and unguarded conversations. For Isabella, it was magical. Beneath the beauty of the island and the warmth of Mike's presence, a quiet storm began to form. The Maldives trip marked the beginning of their relationship problems. Isabella wanted to keep what they had private. For her, love was something personal. She built her empire on the ideology that women must secure the bag before the man, that independence must come before romance. If she began flaunting Mike, she feared it would undo everything. The millions of women who looked up to her would feel betrayed. She did not want to become the story of a woman who had been preaching one thing while secretly living another. Mike, however, felt differently. He was a man in love, head over heels and unashamed of it. To him, hiding the relationship was unnecessary and even insulting. He wanted the world to know that Isabella was his. He wanted to post her pictures, to hold her hand publicly, to stand beside her without secrecy. He could not understand why someone so bold on stage would choose silence when it comes to love. This difference soon turned into tension. Isabella argued that protecting her brand was non negotiable. Everything she had built could collapse if she allowed her personal life to go public. She believes that once her followers saw her flaunting a man on social media, it would contradict her message of financial independence first. Many could assume Mike has been in the picture for the long, but she deceived them with her secure the bag before the man idea. She could not let herself become the subject of "I told you so" debate on social media. But Mike countered with his own truth. He insisted that going public was better option. In his view, secrecy was greater threat. If her fans eventually discovered she had been in a relationship all along, while urging them to reject love until they had secured themselves financially, the backlash would be even worse. To him, hiding the relationship was deception, and deception, once exposed, was more damaging than honesty. And so, in the paradise of Maldives, between sunsets and whispered promises, Mike and Isabella found themselves at odds. Whose ideology will win? Will fans find out about Isabella's relationship, or she will come out clean to them? Will she lose her fans, or she will just overthinking it? Comment your view in the comment section and subscribe to Tales by Loba for the part 2 of this captivating story.